Right then, onto some maintenance on the Amarok. We've had loads of people, especially on some of the Amarok group that Rob goes on Facebook and things. They're all asking about the gearbox service. So that's what we're going to do. We've got the genuine ZF kits that we sell. We do them for pretty much every car. I knew George was coming. He might stay out for a little bit. So while we're doing this, I thought we'd take an opportunity to do all the oils, because while we've got it on the ramp, we might as well do it. So VW, same as BMW and all the people using these gearboxes, they're fill for life. You can't really get any bits for them, but we know that's a load of rubbish. In this book here, this is the instructions. I'll try and find it, because I've just got to the English bit there. ZF recommends a transmission oil change every 80 to 120,000 kilometres, which is like 49,500 to 75,000, or after 8 years at the latest, which I think 8 years is a long time, especially if it's been nipped around. And then it says decrease if you're many trips at high speed, towing a trailer, sporty driving, which all of the above. So this is done just over 50k, never had one done. We'll sort that out and we'll see how long it's going to take to do.
Dad.
You're interrupting my video, George.
Dad.
What?
Come here, I thought Max is gone.
2 minutes and we'll come out and have a look. Let me finish this video and I'm out. You go do some donuts.
No.
See if you can do them no-handed. Go on. So, it comes with an instruction, so fill it till some comes out. If there's an oil cooler, put a bit more in, and then a little procedure. You've got to get oil 30 to 50 degrees and then run through some sort of putting in gears and messing about. But you want to only be at 30 degrees, which you have to do that with a VAGCOM. You might be able to get away with doing it with a little temperature probe. I might, if I've got enough spare hands around me when I'm doing it, while it's warm and when it's on the ramp running, I might get somebody to aim it. When I know it's at 30 to 50, I get some trim it outside and we'll get a rough idea what's going on, but you probably need VAGCOM to do this. We reckon by the time we've booked a car in, done this, tested it and got it back out, you're probably about 3 hours deep. So the labour's going to be about 180 quid-ish, something like that. So we'll see. If it takes a bit longer when I'm doing it, it is what it is. But if it's about that sort of time, then we know what we need to charge. So we'll get cracked on with that. So while we've got it up in the air, we're going to do the rear diff oil. That's not too big of a job, a couple of litres of that. And we're going to do the front transfer oil, which I don't think anybody does that. So we'll get that swapped in, which we had some of that on shelf anyway, which worked out. So we're going to do all the oils. Shouldn't be too long of a job. And then hopefully this drives a little bit better. And obviously it's got the maintenance it needs. And we're going to do some wiper blades as well while we're messing about. So it's a quick one. So I've got the Amarok up on the ramp, a bit sketchy where you have to put these. Not really happy with that one, but I didn't want to get it near any of this stuff here. And that looked a bit slippery, so I don't think I really needed to do all with that, but we'll see. So yeah, as you can see, Owen was telling me how much of a pain this is, with an horrible smirk on his face. So in theory, when you look at this job, it looks easy, but I'm gonna have to take this off to get to the pan, which is under here. So that's gonna be fun. And then I've got to drain the oil for that, which is not too big a deal. And I'm gonna drain the oil for the rear diff here, which is not too big a deal either. So we'll get some drain pans, start draining. This toolbox is absolutely disgusting. Well, that looks a bit dirty. enjoyable stuff. There we go, it's coming out a bit nicer. To fill the ZF8 oil up, I'm going to use this little filling system. We do need a bigger one of these, that's the next job. We've not really needed one too much until now, so I'm going to get a better one of them. But nice rival rear bumper. I'm just putting the oil here because it's been outside back at car. I'll try and let it warm up a little bit. So that is a rear diff oil, so I need them now. That is front diff oil. So might even get oil extractor, just suck that little bit out there. Don't make much difference, waste of time. There we go. I thought we weren't going to get it all in, but just a little bit left. So the rear diff is still leaking. Probably we are thick that one. You probably wanted some driving before we try and drain it. I think I'll leave that for a little bit. A bit sketchy, but we'll leave that for a minute. See, this is locking diff as well. Must be little pin drops in there or something like that, I imagine. Anyway, we'll leave that. We'll start looking at getting the front off. What the f is that? Ooh, watery. So that's not ideal. Two of them. There's absolutely nothing in that, nothing in that, nothing left in that. Didn't quite fill it past that fill level, so I think if we're doing these in future, we'll quote just over 2 litres. but normally you've got a bit of excess, so that is weird. Anyway, it is what it is. We'll do what we can. So I'll get that out of the way before it ends up getting knocked off it. So the rear diff's done, the front transfer's done, the gearbox is still dripping a bit, but they always do, but we'll leave that. I'm going to get some dinner, and then when we come back, hopefully that oil's that sump pan's not that hard to get off, but we shall see. That's where the oil's got to go in. It's not going to be easy. Prop shaft in there. Anyway, we'll figure it out. So, before you start messing about with this, get your send 10mm T27 and take that bolt out first, because that's been an absolute pig to get to. Covered in oil here. See it pouring down. Ah! Why would it drain all that time and then still have that much in? I nearly end up with that in my face. It's still absolutely pouring out. So to the people saying you can get 99.7% of this oil out of this gearbox, you're talking absolute rubbish. As standard, this is fill quantities 9 litres, and this ZF service kit only comes with 7, and you're probably not going to get all that in, so you're talking rubbish. But you have got to make sure you fill it up properly. Look at all that shite. Nearly ended up in my face. So, got the bolts, we'll use them in a bit. Put the new strainer on. Might be a bit tricky getting this to manoeuvre in. There, that pops in. I'm not even going to start wiping around that, because that'll be fine. I'm just going to make it worse wiping it. I'll shift that out of the way now. Wipe floor in a minute. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy that. 5 down. Once this is in. What the f is happening here? Oh my god. Oh, I might have got it. I've got it. Is it right that you can only get like 3 in before it starts peeing out?
What, first fill? Try a bit more, but I might have been wrong. You just gotta keep filling them.
How many times did you do it?
2 or 3 times before it stopped, and then just start it up and wait till it starts up and just keep doing it.
What the fuck? What a load of literally, it just poured out.
I didn't like one. Yeah,
I'm covered in it now though. What a load of shit. That were annoying. I've annoyed me then there. Thing is, it didn't seem to come out that bad. It just dribbled down there and I turned that off and then it just felt like... Yeah. But I'm going to get in car now. So we're in VAGCOM. Going to... I'll go back. Select control module, which if you can't do that, you shouldn't be using it. Advanced measure values, and then ATF. There, 13 degrees. So I need to wait till that's 75, which might be a while. See, the problem you've got is transmission cooler present, which is, yes, it has. Overfill with half a litre. Absolutely no idea you can do that, but anyway. Close it. If I tried overfilling it, I ain't got it in. So we need to get it to more than 75. But then to checking oil level, so that's filling it, checking oil level, start engine, check transmission temperature. If it's more than 50, so down here, if it's more than 50, I'm going to let it cool down, so it's going to be. And then if it's less than 30, you're going to warm it up, but it's definitely going to be more than 50, so you sort of got to decide how long you want this to take you. So I might have to mess about doing something else while I wait, but we'll see. So we don't gas the cells out. $23, are you kidding? $27, are you kidding? Oh my god. 34 degrees, need to get to 75. Oh, rev to free. So 42 degrees, ignore all mess here. That's just ridiculous. Been running for like an hour and a half now. It's not even getting any warmer. Sketchy running this up with no engine mount, that is for sure. You can't do what they said. That is for sure. Not messing about, because you need to drive it to get it up to 75. That just ain't gonna work. Some more gloves, because I am going to get caked in oil again. At least it's not coming out already.
A few moments later.
No way, no way, no way. Already leaking out. So, I'm not sure how good the head cam footage was, but basically I got a little bit stressed out with this because I don't know if it's easy to see from the footage, but I basically got about 4.5 litres, 4.4 litres to go in, and then it'd just absolutely rain out if you try putting any more in. And then I think it took 2.5 hours or something like that. and it's still only got to like 40 odd degrees coolant temp, so oil temp. So obviously when you're looking at these instructions, it says we do it oil change, fill it up, blah de blah, and then you have to do this as well, which I thought you'd probably want to do it that way, then do it that way, because that's sort of telling you just to go for a drive in it, basically. But it didn't really work out how I expected. I couldn't get the oil to go in, so I just waited until Paul were back in on Monday just to see what he thought about it. And he sort of had a little bit of a change of tactic, and he said, let's just get it a bit warmer, and then we'll overfill it again. So instead of going in the side, we went into the drain bung with this and stuck the rest of that half a litre in, like it's saying here, overfill it by half a litre, and then we'll get it up to temperature again. We've put that half a litre in, got it up to, I think after 3.5 hours of ticking over, it got to like 60 something degrees. So we just said, it ain't gonna happen. The BMW stuff, because we've not done that many on Volkswagen stuff, but the BMWs that we do it on, the thermostat opens pretty quickly and you can see when it's opened as well. It must have an electronic either sensor or switch on it or something, but anyway. But this never got warm. You could feel on the pipes that it never got warm. So he's thrown all the... Paul did it without me asking him to, because he's good like that. He threw all the cross member and everything back on, and then we basically need to take it for a test drive. So I'm hoping, where are we? Can't see any in it. It's going to have to come back off again if we wanted to do anything really, because you can't even get to the fill or drain bungs with this on. Yeah, there's no holes in there. All right. It'd be nice if there was just a bigger hole in the middle of there. You'd be able to get to it. So basically what we're going to have to do, go for a drive in it, get it really up to temperature, run it through all the gears, straight back on the ramp, get it up, get the cross member back off, and then just double check the level is where it needs to be. Because in theory, it should only be up to there, but that means we've got 2 litres too much, which means there's still 3 litres of old oil in there, which is not ideal. But I think what I've learnt from this, doing it myself, I normally just let somebody else do it and let them tell me what problems I've had. If I were doing this again, I'd probably run it till it's absolutely as hot as it can get on the road, pull it in, drain it all, fill it all. Hopefully then it starts out at an higher temperature, and maybe then it'd be easier to get up to temperature while it were on the ramp with the mount off. If not, it's not a big deal. We'll just have to do what we've done and faff about driving it and take it off the ramp and on the ramp again, which you probably had in half an hour's work on just getting it back onto the ramp and taking this off again and checking it. And there's not really anything you can check. There's no sort of dipstick or anything like that, so you can check it without doing all this. So it's a bit of a pain, really, and I think that's why a lot of places are not doing this and just say, fill for life, especially the dealer, because they don't want their mechanics doing this sort of thing when they can be telling people they need discs and pads when they don't need them, and doing easy work like that. So anyway, it is what it is. So I won't say ignore this, but it definitely hasn't helped us in this case. This is just a generic thing. They didn't realise that you've got to do all this. On the BMW, you didn't have to do any of this. You don't have to take all this stuff off. It's quite easy. And you've not got a dry shaft, or prop shaft, should I say, in the way. But anyway, so trying to turn this back into something informational. You probably want to buy one of them if you're going to do this. We want one that's bigger, so that's on the way. But that's got the 8 threads to go in and a little hook one to go in and everything. And then the tools, you don't need the buzz guns, but it definitely makes it a bit quicker. But 3/8 are probably just about do it. That couldn't take out a couple of bolts sometimes, but is what it is. So 13 socket, 16 socket to take the cross member off. That's the 8mm Allen key that we needed to do the transfer case oil, which is there, I believe. But then to do the fill bung on the gearbox, we needed the 8mm Allen key, because there's just nothing that can get in there that's smaller than that. That's to do the fill at the drain bung as well. That's a 5mm Allen key, I think it is 5mm. Forgot what it was. Yeah, 5mm. That's to do the drain bung on the gearbox. And then to do the sump pan, that's where all the problems start. You've got a T27, and I've got 3 different variants. You needed that to get in at a few of them. That were easier to get in on some, especially for tightening them back up, but you could get away with just that if you wanted to. And then just one of them, which had me scratching my head a little bit, and you could see it pretty well, but you just couldn't get anything in there at any angle, because obviously Torx bit's rubbish for doing things at an angle. So I've just got a little Torx bits and a 10mm and just basically got it in there and struggled away. And then the extension can be used for any of them if you need to, if you want to, but it also does the fill and the drain bung on the rear diff. So you don't really need that many tools to do this. Obviously, you can't, if you ain't got a ramp, you could probably still do it, but it would be a lot of laid on your back, swearing and getting covered in oil. But yeah, so I think this might be the end of the video, or we might just sneak a little bit in at the end, just saying basically how much oil we end up getting in. But up to now, there's 5 litres in there, and if we take the plug out and a little bit drips out, we'll just stick it back in and away we go. If not, we'll put a bit more in. But we'll go for a run and see what's what. So it's been sat here for another hour, maybe more, 2 hours, and it were at 80. It took some rate getting up to 80. Now it's at 52. So by the time I've messed about getting it on ramp and what have you, I'm just checking it because this is taking forever. So yeah, I think we may be a little bit overfilled, but not tons. It's just ridiculous. So I think if I'm doing this again, we're going to bang 5 litres straight in fruit bottom and go for a drive. But I'm going to see how much comes out of the next one, because I didn't measure this one. So maybe before this video goes out, I'm going to do our Audi A6, which is the exact same gearbox, and then we'll put up what it should be. So thank you for watching, and what a pain in the absolute ring piece.